Interstate 635, Texas style. Yeah. All right, we're looking at Interstate 635. This should be a North Dallas Shortie today because it's not too long of a road. And it's kind of a shortcut to the airport, and the Royals are going to be playing the Rangers, so why not go down to the Metroplex? Let's take a look at the route. We see it starts from I-20 in the east side of town and heads over basically toward DFW, a couple miles north of DFW. First, we're going to talk about north and westbound because they sign it both ways, and it's not really a loop, so I can't do that inner loop thing. We're looking at eastbound I-20, which is kind of the natural route for getting onto northbound 635. 635 is signed for Mesquite and Garland, and that's good signage. Nice text dot. Coming closer, we're seeing still North 635, Mesquite, Garland, 20 East Shreveport. And we get these signs in the freeway. I-20 is only the far left lane. You don't have to stay in the left lane to be on I-20. It looks like the next two lanes could still be I-20. Coming from the other side, I-20 West Fort Worth, 635 North, and we get no Control City. That might be a sign of bad things to come. Coming back from our original ramp going from eastbound 20, this is what it looks like as we cross over I-20, and we are 4 lanes already from the inception. We get an exit before we even meet our other lanes coming from westbound I-20. And here is where westbound I-20 traffic meets up with eastbound I-20 traffic to fully form I-635, which is the LBJ Freeway, or part of it, as I-20 is part of it as well. You're watching Control City Freak. This is the YouTube channel where we talk about highways and the places that they're signed to go to. If you do this kind of content, why not give us a like? And if you really like it, why not subscribe? Yeah, subscribe. Continuing down 635, we are getting a laundry list of exits, and we have no frontage roads and actually decent normal interchanges, no slip ramps. So, okay start here. Random interchanges, we get no information other than north 635, south 635, no control cities given. And we've seen traces of exits 1 and 2. These are exits 3 and 4. No trucks left lane, so I always like that policy. Our first major interchange is in Mesquite, and it is US 80. US 80 signed for Dallas and Terrell. This exit was requested by TheDerpHog because it's the exit that is used to enter and exit the DFW area if you're coming from the east, at least for him in his direction. So thank you for that request. TheDerpHog requested that with a $5 super sticker, as anybody can do for any upcoming episodes, and you can check that on the posts or in the episode description. The next couple episodes I'm doing already have requests closed. I'm trying to get a little bit ahead for the summer, but you can see the next available thing coming up. You can also make requests on the Patreon, and with a $5 or more membership, you can get monthly requests and also the occasional exclusive content, polls, and stuff like that. And I appreciate everybody who does both of those things. The interchange with US 80 is fairly big, Texas style, and we'll see a lot more of that on 635. Next up, we're going to be meeting I-30, and Town East Boulevard is for downtown Mesquite, so far as there is a downtown Mesquite. And here is our interchange for I-30, exit 8, and we see it is signed for Texarkana and Dallas. This was requested by Boss King Inc. He thinks the shield is ugly on a white background, and Control City is in all caps. Hideous sign all around, but he thinks maybe it's temporary. And yeah, I agree. That's a weird looking sign. That white background for I-30 is really terrible looking. They do that on both signs too. I don't know why. A little further down at Prada Drive, we are now signed for West 635, no longer North 635. There's no giant curve in this road. It's a gradual curve, and they just start signing it differently along that gradual curve. 635 is torn up. There is a lot of construction on this road, so it's really hard to get a lot of these signs. Here is our Dallas city limits sign, but this is from 2020. That sign is gone now, and I don't know if they plan to replace it. In fact, here is what it looks like now, where at this exact same spot we get an overhead sign for Plano Road. We're heading into the busier part of 635. We're getting Greenville Avenue and TI Boulevard.
I see you can have whatever you like.
Getting the ramps for US 75, the High 5 interchange, and we are well away from that, and it is signed for Dallas and McKinney. Made a US 75 video you can check out right over there. We're going to be getting express lanes, and we see West and TI Boulevard. Lots of TI stuff. I thought TI was from Atlanta. Now we're getting another exit for Coit Road, and we still have the distributor ramp for US 75 above us there. And now we're getting yet another exit for Park Central Drive and Hillcrest Road, and only now are we finally getting to the actual ramps of the High 5 itself. The High 5 was requested by Andrew Weishaar, and it's a junction that he frequently uses, so thank you for that request. Just for kicks, this is the top of the High 5, and this is looking west, further down toward where we're going to be going. Meeting Texas 289 and Preston Road. We've actually got 2 requests for that one, so I will mention the first one now, which is from TheDerpHog. So thank you for that request. We'll hit the other one on the way back. We're getting to Dallas Parkway, which seems to be a major road for this super developed like North Dallas or Farmers Branch or Galleria, or I don't know what you call this area, but it seems to be booming. We're also going to be meeting the Dallas North Tollway. So here is a look at the Galleria area as we head toward the Dallas North Tollway. And this is the busiest section of 635 in between the High 5 and 35E. We're getting a laundry list of exits and Midway Road exit only right here. And here we're getting a laundry list of exits for the express lanes. We see that it only has a couple of exits before it ends. Most of the local exits don't happen. The express lanes are below, and we'll see those later. And we're also getting tolls, which vary by time of day. And we get express lanes exit for Dallas and Denton, 35E, and the normal interchange for Dallas and Denton is still 1.25 miles away. Here's the exits for regular lanes on 35E, South Dallas and North Denton. Again, I'm fine with signing 635 with suburbs, but we shouldn't be doing that with I-35. Should be North Oklahoma City. We're getting 635 West DFW Airport, which again, for a 3-digit road, is fine signage. After 35E, the express lanes go away and things seem to get a lot simpler, and here's our exit for Luna Road. Traffic lightens up a bit. We're still signed 635 West DFW Airport, and we are meeting President George Bush Turnpike. I love that they name it President George Bush as if though that differentiates which George Bush you're talking about. We get no control cities for that road either, which is kind of a fail. We get a laundry list of exits here: Beltline Road, Freeport Parkway, and Royal Lane, and that will take us almost to the end of 635. We're getting Bass Pro Drive coming up, and we're also getting our sign for DFW Airport with a plane that is on its way there as well. And here is our end. We're getting South 121 and West 114 for Fort Worth, East 114 for DFW Airport and Dallas. It also go North 121 for McKinney. This is about as close as we get to Texas 360, which is a road that goes right to the stadium that the Royals will be playing at and that I did for the All-Star game last year. You can check that episode out right over there. All right, we're going to turn around and go eastbound and then later southbound. Coming off of 114 East for DFW Airport in Dallas, we're getting 635 East for nothing. It's the same way going the other way too. 635 nothing. Here we're meeting President George Bush Turnpike, once again signed for nothing. Coming from the George Bush Turnpike, 635 is signed for nothing. We're heading toward 35E once again, and that's a colossal interchange, so I'll show an overhead picture of that. From 35E, 635 East is signed for nothing. Westbound, you get DFW Airport at least, but eastbound still nothing. Here's a view of the Dallas skyline from the top of that 35E interchange from the highest ramp there, so that's pretty cool. And here's what it looks like in the express lanes. As I said, they are underground. They've been raising this road, that's what all this construction is, and then adding the express lanes underneath. We're going to be meeting the Dallas North Toll Road once again, which also is signed for nothing, and we're getting this Galleria area. So as I said, this seems to be the most built up part of 635. Coming from the Dallas North Tollway, 635 is signed for, you guessed it, nothing. We're meeting exit 21 for Preston Road. This time it was requested by Andrew Devore because it goes to Prosper, and Prosper is the home of NASCAR driver Chris Buescher. Prosper also has a population of about 30,000, and thank you so much for that request. Just another look at the High 5 coming into the 635 ramps. Either way, we're signed for nothing, and that's true for all of them. Pretty lame. I skipped right ahead from the High 5 back down to I-30 through this section here because this is entirely under construction. It's very hard to find any current signs that are worth anything. Looking at I-30, 635 is signed north and south for nothing. Looks like they plan to sign northbound 635 for something, but this is not new green out. This is a new sign entirely. The most recent street view before this sign didn't even exist. Anxious to see what they signed there. On US 80, again, we are signed for nothing in either direction. And we're heading toward I-20, so we see I-20 is going to be signed east for Shreveport, and we are now signed overhead for 20 West Fort Worth because we'll be dumping into it. 175 for Kaufman is going to be an exit only. Here is where we actually dump into I-20. I-20 is the lanes on the left joining us, and we see an exit for 175, west for Dallas, east for Kaufman. Let's take a look at Todd's the way it should be for Interstate 635 in Texas, and how it should be signed with something instead of nothing. I'm going to say north and westbound, it should be signed Mesquite and Garland like they do at the jump and then let go of. Mesquite at the beginning and then Garland after I-30. Then for the Galleria area, North Dallas, something like that. I'm not sure what the local nomenclature is for that area, but from what I could tell looking around doing research, it's just the Galleria area. So sign it for that and then sign it for DFW once we get to the North Dallas tollway. Southbound, again, sign it for the Galleria area up until we get to the North Dallas tollway. For Garland until we get to the Garland exits, Mesquite from there, and then once we're in Mesquite on I-30 and US 80, Balch Springs is the town where we meet I-20, so we may as well sign it for that. It's 30,000 or so, but it's not a big city and area, and I-20 probably splits up too much anyway, so Balch Springs would be the choice, and then Fort Worth for through traffic after that. All right, thank you so much for watching this episode of Control City Freak. I really appreciate it. We're going to be back with California Highway 60 next week, so that'll be cool because the Royals are playing the Dodgers. We're probably going to get killed in that. Until next time, my name is Todd, and keep on trucking.